to the same equestrian summer camp for 8 years in a row. This past summer, I was finally old enough to be a CIT, which stands for Counselor in Training, but really means free slave labor. One of my jobs was to take the younger children on trails. I had to make sure they had fun, and most importantly, make sure the children stayed safe. However, that's not exactly what I was thinking about when I walked out to the barn to get my horse for that day. I was thinking about ditching these girls and riding down to boys' camp. On this morning, it was my turn to ride Hope, a bay mare with a white star on her forehead. CITs are randomly assigned the horses the campers can't handle. Hope is nice enough when you're not on her, but jump in the saddle, and she strives to prove her thoroughbred racehorse lineage. Normally, this would be fun. Big fields to gallop across, no fences to worry about, but we're talking about level 1 riders today. I'm talking about I have never seen a horse before I came to camp 5 days ago kind of riders. So no hauling ass across large expanses. I jealously eye Melissa, the other CIT, assigned to this trail ride, as she mounts the beautiful and perfect gelding, Chino. They calmly walk down to our riders as I struggle to get on Hope, who tries to bolt away every time I put my foot in the stirrup. When I finally hoist myself up, my hands are already drawn halfway up her neck in an attempt to get her to walk. I hate these trails, Melissa groans, as I survey our campers. None of them are over the age of 10, and they are all mounted on our best babysitter horses. Yeah, I wouldn't hate it so much, I say, if I wasn't riding a rocket. Sometimes walking trails can be relaxing, but judging by the rope burns already forming in my hand, I can already tell this will be anything but relaxing. Just take the back end and you shouldn't have any problems, Melissa says, as she directs the campers to line up behind her. I wait for the last girl to get in line, and of course it's Julia, a very chatty and annoying 8-year-old girl, and her oh-so-very slow pony, Junebug. The first half an hour of the trail ride is uneventful. Keeping Hope from running up Junebug's butt is entertainment enough. I'm pretending to listen to Julia when something she says catches my ear. Junebug's scared, Julia says, which I notice is true. Junebug's backing up and throwing her head. I ride up next to Julia to help her with what I assume is just another stubborn pony. Then I hear commotion up the trail. The horses have left their line formation. The riders have no control over their horses. The girls are swatting away at tiny yellow tyrants buzzing around them. Yellow jackets. Then everything immediately gets worse. Some girls jump off their horses and fight the tiny buggers on the ground. 2 girls have been taken off with and are now galloping out of sight. 1 girl is on the ground, convulsing. Melissa is already next to her, and she is now turning blue. Melissa screams at me, "This one's allergic. Go get help. Go get help." Without thinking, I swerve Hope around. She bolts off instantly. "Home," I shout, hoping she'll understand. "Take us home." I'm aware that at this speed, there's no way I can steer her, and I'm not even sure where we are headed. Everything is blurring past us. We're off the trail. A few times I think she's going to run into the trees and send me flying off, but she misses every tree because, unlike me, she is in complete control. "Yellow jackets on trail!" I scream as camp comes into sight. I realize they probably have no idea what I'm saying, and I'll have to stop Hope in order to tell them. Without judging whether or not it's a good idea, which it isn't, I reach my hands forward until I am physically gripping the bridle around Hope's face, and then slam my ass back down in the saddle. To my surprise, Hope does a sliding stop, and then the sudden change in motion sends me out of the saddle. I land right in front of her, on her withers. I am surrounded by counselors. "Yellow jackets on trail. 1 girl is allergic." And that's all I need to say before they all rush off to help. I dismount Hope and slump down on the grass, panting and exhausted. I'm still shaking, and I think, what if I was actually at boys' camp? Would Chino have made it back fast enough? Would they be walking up the hills in 30 minutes with a dead girl? Hope, for the first time that I have seen, is panting too. Her breath is heavy, and my hair is heavy, and her breath is in my hair as she rests her muzzle on the top of my head, and we both breathe together. Turns out being a CIT is much more than just free slave labor.